G'day, Keith Conlon. Glad you could join us on Postcards. I'm in busy cosmopolitan Norwood. I'm looking for a bloke who works here, but his heart is entirely somewhere else. Up here, on the Murray. Amongst these ancient river red gums as well, because graphic artist Shane Strudwick has really put out a quite poetic depiction of our great river and its stories. First, pretty obvious from those images, isn't it, that despite the current woes of the River Murray, we just love to celebrate its very special place in the minds of South Australians. Well, you can imagine, we were very tickled to find there's an entirely new book about our ribbon of life. A young photographer and graphic designer has not just taken pictures and gathered stories for the last 6 years, he has tried to get right into the soul of Australia's great river. You're going to enjoy meeting this bloke. Shane Strudwick is on a mission to make us all sit up and reassess what he describes as one of Australia's greatest iconic and ancient landscapes. On the road for 6 years, he's notched up more than 30,000 kilometres up and down the river, taking photos and gathering stories, and the result is a kaleidoscopic new book, Australia's Great River Landscape, the Murray River. It's not just another coffee table adornment. It's an easy-to-take lesson on the river, its rich history, its highs and lows, and its future.
A long time ago I heard the saying that if you see a problem you should try and fix it, and when I saw it as our great national river wasn't getting the attention it deserved, as a national landscape, as an experience, I thought, well, I've got all my skills, I've got all my passions, here's a perfect opportunity for me to channel it.
When he's not up the river, you'll find him in downtown Norwood, where he runs his own graphic design company, Design Train. So for him, a book about his favourite place was a no-brainer.
As a designer, I started working in the Victorian side, working with houseboat operators, and then I started to research the actual region, the river itself, looking for resources. And then when I realised the one story of the river really wasn't being told the way that I could see it was being told, I started to go, right, well, what is it about the river? And I started looking at the history, I started looking at the landscapes, I started looking at all aspects of the river. So it really steadily became this fusion of all the elements that make the river, and then suddenly things started popping off left, right and centre, connecting that story with that story, that bit with that bit.
And Shane has certainly managed to connect them as he plots the Murray's long and winding 2,500 kilometre journey from high in the snowy mountains all the way down to the Southern Ocean at Goolwa. He set out to capture the river's many moods and stories in words and photos, and he's pulled it off. He reckons the Murray is one river that flows through many lands, and he's right. Just on our side of the border alone, the Murray dissects the arid outback, passes towns big and small, cuts deep into the landscape, and empties into the lower lakes.
Funny part of the whole journey has been like, as a photographer you start to look closely at things, and then I started to actually see the experience, and the river shifts and it changes and the journey it goes through. So not just the towns but the landscape, so it goes from the mountains through steep banks, gets to the outback region, comes through some beautiful limestone cliffs, and then opens up into this amazing plains, obviously out to the mouth. So I started to identify that and go, well, here is actually a part of the experience people would like to see. How can they connect to the landscapes and can therefore connect to the river?
His notion of an outback river, for example, is told brilliantly at Chowla Station, just north of Renmark. He tells how the paddle steamers used to line up to load the massive wool clip. That doesn't happen any longer, of course, but Chowla is still a river icon. A yarn over a coffee with Shane, and it's clear he is overflowing with passion for the river.
Headings Cliffs and obviously Whirlpool Corner is, for me, one of my favourite shots and one of my favourite locations as well, up in the Riverland. Probably what's amazing about it is just how eroded it is. It reminds me of some of the places in Utah, for example. That's what's quite amazing about it, is that when you get in there you see these geographical landscapes and how much they've changed and how old they are. You go, this is comparable with anything in the world.
And that pretty well sums up the entire Murray, really.
I thought we needed a book that really celebrated what the river was all about, the beauty of it. But with that in mind, we also needed, I feel, and I wrote about this in the foreword, we also needed a future plan for the region as well, as not just one river but one basin. How are we going to manage the whole system and the whole structure?
Well, Shane admits this is really just a start in a way. He's still taking pictures, he's still gathering stories. He's got a lifetime job. And in a way, so it should be. This is the story of our great river, the Murray. To see Shane's book or to order it online, go to murrayriver.com.au or contact his company in Norwood, Design Train, on 8363 6244. After the break, headed back up the Murray. See you next Sunday.